Spend $40 on the wrong air cooler and it shows up, doesn't fit, and now your build is delayed while you return it. The mistake? Picking by the TDP number on the box. Under $50, a cooler has to clear 4 things, not 1. Height, RAM clearance, socket support, and whether your CPU even needs that much cooling. Get those 4 right and $40 buys real performance. Let's start with the one I'd drop into most builds. For most people, get the Thermalright Phantom Spirit 120 SE. This is where budget air cooling stops feeling budget. Dual tower, 2 120mm fans, 7 heat pipes, and far more headroom than a basic office PC will ever touch. Why it's the main pick is simple. High-end style cooling without the high-end price. In Tom's Hardware's testing of the Phantom Spirit 120 family, it cooled 224 watts at a noise-normalized 38.2 decibels, and at full speed averaged 234 watts while still only hitting 41.9 decibels. That's why this is the default. Not because the spec sheet looks big, but because the cooling and noise balance is genuinely strong. For a Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7, Core i5, even a sensible Core i7, if your case has the room, this is the first cooler I'd look at. And that if is the whole game. It's about 154mm tall, so check your case's cooler clearance and your RAM height before you buy. Big dual towers crowd taller memory. Buy it because it fits, not because it tops a best under $50 list. A cooler that doesn't fit isn't a deal at any price. The real downside is size. It's more cooler than a low-power chip needs, and it takes up space around the socket. But for most ATX and micro ATX gaming builds, this is the safest default. Strong cooling, strong value, current socket support, and enough headroom that you're not cooler shopping again the day you upgrade. If that just saved you from the wrong cooler, drop a like. That's the only time I'll ask, and it tells me to keep these guides straight to the point. Now, if the goal is spending as little as possible, this is the one. The cheapest cooler I'd actually install in a budget gaming PC is the Thermalright Assassin X 120 Refined SE. This is for replacing a tired stock cooler, building a low-cost gaming rig, or cooling a lighter Ryzen 5 or Core i5 without spending Phantom Spirit money. It's a simple single tower, 4 heat pipes, and a controllable PWM fan. Nothing fancy, and that's the point. The money goes into the metal and the fan, not a giant box, fake performance claims, or cheap lighting. And it's not just barely better than stock territory. Tom's Hardware measured the Assassin X120 RSE, cooling 213 watts at a noise-normalized 38.9 decibels, which is impressive for a cooler that often sells around entry-level money. But don't take that as permission to throw it on a hot unlocked i7 and call it done. That's the trap down here. Don't grab the cheapest RGB tower just because it looks more gaming. Under $25, I care about the heatsink, the mount, the fan, and the socket. Lighting's last. The catch is headroom. This isn't the cooler for heavy rendering, overclocking, or a chip you plan to push all day. It's a budget upgrade, not a miracle. Get it if you want the cheapest cooler that still makes sense, but if the Phantom Spirit is only a few dollars more where you are, and your case fits it, step up. Now, what if the problem isn't price? It's space. If case height is the problem, don't jump straight to a tiny low-profile cooler. If you can fit 135mm, get the Thermalright Peerless Assassin 120 Mini. It's the smarter small build pick because it still behaves like a real tower cooler. Compact dual tower, 6 heat pipes, a 120mm fan, just much shorter than the Phantom Spirit. Exactly what you want when a 154 or 155mm cooler is the one thing that won't fit. Gamers Nexus tested the Peerless Assassin Mini at 123 watts noise normalized and measured 59 degrees over ambient. The larger Peerless Assassin was cooler at 54 degrees over ambient, but that's the whole trade-off. The Mini gives up some cooling to fit where bigger towers won't. The mistake here is skipping the middle. Plenty of people hit that height limit and drop all the way to a 47mm low-profile cooler, throwing away cooling and quiet they didn't have to lose. If the Mini fits, use the Mini. It's still wider around the socket than a basic single tower, so check your motherboard and RAM clearance. Small doesn't mean fits everything, and if your case can't even take 135mm, then go low profile, something like the Thermalright AXP90X47, but only when the case forces your hand. Now for the max cooling option, and this one comes with a price warning. If the Thermalright Royal Pretor 130 rings up under $50 the day you buy, it's the max cooling pick. This is for people who actually need more, hotter CPUs, heavy all-core loads, long renders, or anyone who just wants the strongest air cooler the budget allows. Tom's Hardware called it the strongest air cooler they had tested, and the numbers explain why. In their Ryzen 9 9950X3D testing at a 200-watt power limit, the Royal Pretor beat a 240mm AIO by 2 degrees while averaging 44.9 decibels. At a lighter 140-watt CPU-only load, it kept the CPU at 60.9 degrees Celsius while running around 40.3 decibels. That's seriously impressive for air cooling, but 2 catches. Price first. The moment it crosses $50, the whole point of this pick is gone, so if it's over budget, ignore it and fall back to the Phantom Spirit. Then height. It's around 158mm, so this is a measure first buy, not a my case fits normal towers, it'll be fine buy. And it's overkill for plenty of chips. Cooling a basic 65-watt CPU, you don't need the biggest cooler in the video, but if your CPU runs hot, your case has the space, and the price is genuinely under $50, this is the play. Here's the simple version. Most people, the Thermalright Phantom Spirit 120 SE. Cheapest upgrade that still makes sense, the Assassin X120 Refined SE. Case too tight for a full tower, the Peerless Assassin 120 Mini. And if the Royal Pretor 130 is under $50 with room to spare, that's your max cooling pick. Over 50, skip it. The rule that covers all of it. Buy the Phantom Spirit unless you can name the reason you can't. A very tight case, a rock-bottom budget, or a CPU that genuinely needs the Royal Pretor. One last thing before checkout, and it's the boring part that actually matters. Check your cooler height, check your RAM clearance, and confirm your socket. That's the line between a smart $40 upgrade and a cooler that shows up and won't fit. Prices down here move constantly, so check the links in the description before you buy. A few dollars either way can flip which one wins. And if you're not just buying a cooler in general, but trying to match one to a specific CPU, check out the cooler playlist on screen next. We've got dedicated guides for Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7, Ryzen 9, Core i5, and Intel Core Ultra builds, so you can pick based on the chip you're actually using.